evening and welcome to the April 2nd Council meeting. If you'd please stand, Mayor Pro Tem Comstock is going to lead us in the flag salute this evening.
Thank you, Mayor. Please don't put your right hand over your heart and join me in saluting the flag of our nation. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Karen. Our first announcement will be a proclamation for Arbor Day, which is April 5th. I'd like to call up Steve Lewis, president of the Chino Youth Museum, and Sal Para, Public Works Supervisor with the City of Chino. And the proclamation reads, whereas in 1872, the first Arbor Day in the United States was held with over 1 million trees planted in Nebraska. The National Arbor Day Foundation celebrates Arbor Day in April, and the City of Chino has been recognized for over 26 years as a Tree City USA by the National Arbor Day Foundation. Trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of the business areas, and beautify our community. Trees can reduce wind and water erosion, cut heating and cooling costs, clean air, produce life-giving oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas, through the cooperation of the residents of the City of Chino and community groups, the benefits of planting trees and proper conservation practices can be passed on in an enduring heritage of vital natural resources to the citizens of Chino. Now, therefore, I, Eunice Emuloa, Mayor of the City of Chino, do hereby proclaim April 5th, 2024 as Arbor Day in the City of Chino and encourage each citizen to observe this day by planting one or more trees and by participating in the First Friday activities at the Chino Youth Museum courtyard to learn more about the importance of Arbor Day. Steve?
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. I just want to say thank you for all the support, and we are going to be having an Arbor Day event over at the museum on Friday for our first Friday. It's free. It's from 3 to 5. We're going to have an eco-superhero events planned. The kids can plant a seed to, bring home their own tree. So it'll be fun for everybody over at the Youth Museum. And then I also want to, as I could take this time, if I could say thank you very much to the mayor and council and city staff and everything for the Chino Days, for the Youth Museum, and the fundraiser for the street signs. You guys did a great job and helped us out so much, and we raised a bunch of money for the museum. I just want to say thank you again for that.
You're welcome. It was fun.
Thank you, Stephen. Mayor, thank you. The City of Chino has over 20,000 trees within our community, and with the combination of contracted services and city staff, we're able to provide the best tree management year after year. Mayor, I know you mentioned this in the proclamation, but we are also proud to say that we are Tree City USA, and we have been for 29 years. So Mayor, members of the council, I want to personally thank you on behalf of the Public Works Department. Without your support, we would not be able to provide the tree landscape that we have today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, yeah. Oh, here.
You had to get your commercial in, huh?
Well, I just wanted to help you out. Thank you.
Okay, next we have Autism Awareness Month. I'd like to call up Diane D'Antono, Community Services Parks and Recreation Coordinator with the city, and Nicole Aptekar, Board Member from Autism Society Inland Empire. Also Felicia Guzman, CEO and founder of Adrian's World Incorporated. Whereas autism is a lifelong neurological disorder with current statistics bringing it to 1 in 36 children diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder in the United States. Autism affects each individual in different ways and can range from very mild to severe, knows no racial, ethnic, or social boundaries, and affects young and old alike in the City of Chino. Our understanding of autism has grown tremendously since it was first diagnosed. There is no known cure for autism. Accurate early diagnosis and the resulting appropriate education and intervention are vital to the future growth and development of the individual. Hope lies in a broad spectrum of treatments and in an informed public and community committed to providing support and service to individuals diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. So whereas the Autism Society Inland Empire has been serving the Inland Empire for over 36 years, and their mission is to create connections empowering everyone in the autism community with the resources needed to live fully. Now, therefore, I, Unisemi Lower Mayor of the City of Chino, do hereby proclaim April 2024 as Autism Awareness Month in the City of Chino and encourage all citizens to join the effort to raise awareness of autism.
Thank you, Mayor Aloha and Chino Council members for this honor in recognition of the autism community. So this is beautifully written. I can't take credit for it, but you did mention 1 in 36 children are diagnosed in the U.S. with autism, and actually in California, it's more like 1 in 22 children. So it's the fastest growing developmental disability in the U.S. And so with that said, the point being is that most of us know somebody with autism, right? Whether it's a child or a grandchild, niece, nephew, friend, the list goes on. I could probably ask everybody in this crowd to raise their hand if they know somebody with autism, and probably everybody would raise their hand, right? So, but with that said, there are services and supports within the City of Chino. So thank you, City of Chino, and for everybody who supports. And Autism Society Inland Empire, we also have the resources supports. We have a walk coming up. I have to put in the commercial for that as well, April 20th. But that's our big fundraiser. So that's really important. So make sure you check that out. And I want to thank everybody, because I know that there's a lot of advocates in this room. So thank you all for being an advocate for autism.
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Felicia Guzman. I am the CEO and founder of Adrian's World, Inc., and we support, of course, I'm a proud autism mom, but we support the autism community and special needs community as well. But we are extremely excited to announce, with leadership and support of Councilman Flores, the City of Chino, various nonprofits, that we're all working together to bring the first annual inclusive community celebration to the City of Chino on September 14th. So we just ask that you stay tuned, and details to come, and we're really excited. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor and council members, for making this day a proclamation day for autism in our community. The Chino Youth Museum is very thankful for your support in that area as well. The Chino Youth Museum continues to provide sensory, family-friendly experiences throughout all of our exhibits. For example, we have a sensory display wall right in the front lobby. It has 6 wonderful displays that offer opportunities for children to touch, have physical mobility skills, their sight and sound, as well as Lego tables. And we continue to offer curriculum, arts and crafts that will stimulate mobility, socialization programs, reading time, and other opportunities for our families. So we do thank you, and I appreciate the company of the women standing here today from Adrian's World and from Autism Society of the Inland Empire. The work you do in the community is amazing, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens at this wonderful special event in September.
Thank you very much, ladies. Next, we have Child Abuse Prevention Month. I'd like to call up Hillary Ray, Interim Associate Network Officer, Children's Network, San Bernardino County, and Ted Bastarkey, Community Services, Parks and Recreation Manager. Whereas April 2024 has been designated as Child Abuse Prevention Month by counties, state, and federal governments for the purpose of promoting community involvement in preventing child abuse. The City of Chino, Chino Valley Unified School District, and County of San Bernardino believe all children have the right to receive the care, protection, and guidance a family provides, to be free from harm, and to have their physical, emotional, and educational needs met. Last year, approximately 500,000 children experienced abuse or neglect in the U.S. In San Bernardino County, over 31,000 referrals for suspected abuse or neglect were made. The Adverse Childhood Experience, or ACE, study demonstrates long-term health, social, and economic risks that result from childhood trauma. The prevention of child abuse requires rigorous solutions, energy, strength, determination, and commitment from concerned citizens and the entire community. The City of Chino, Chino Valley Unified School District, and the County of San Bernardino provide services and professionals in the field of child abuse who are dedicated, compassionate, and skilled in the prevention of child abuse. And whereas the City of Chino recognizes the blue ribbon as the international symbol for child abuse prevention, the Children's Network has planned a blue ribbon media campaign and the 25th annual Shine a Light on Child Abuse Prevention Ceremony to increase awareness of child abuse during the month of April. Now, therefore, I, Eunice Semiloa, Mayor of the City of Chino, do hereby proclaim April 2024 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in the City of Chino and encourage all citizens to join the effort to end child abuse.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, City of Chino. Children's Networks appreciates your support. Each year as we identify April as Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Month. And I just want to remind everyone here that you are the eyes and the ears of your own community. If you have a concern for a kiddo, go ahead and call the Child Abuse Hotline. You can dial 211, press number 6, and they'll connect you directly. Then you can report that anonymously if you want to, and the family can be looked into. There's a giant movement right now to move away from mandated reporters calling in and children being removed. So the entire state of California is on the forefront of bringing community supporting to our families. And so you may be redirected to a non-removal hotline, and then that way the family can just get the support they need, especially when it's concrete needs like food and shelter and things that would directly harm the child if they weren't, needed, but the removal from the family is not supportive for that situation. They really just need a hand up to get where they are and keep families together and kids where they want to be with their parents. So, make a referral whenever you're concerned by dialing 211 and get families the help that they need.
And thank you, Mayor, and our City Council for your continued support of this proclamation every year. As the numbers shared in the proclamation, is a tremendous amount of need and possible neglect and abuse across our world. And here in the City of Chino, it's a good reminder that our City of Chino Human Services Department provides counseling for families and children who are in need of those services. So we encourage anyone, as a reminder, if you visit our city website or call Chino Human Services at 909-334-3259. We can help support you in a variety of ways, and they're here to provide. They're in our own city. Not a lot of city has human services element to it. We've been doing it for over 30 years, and it's a great resource, and we've provided a lot of services over the years.
Thank you, Ted. Thank you. Thank you very much for being here. We have a lot of proclamations this evening. Next is Donate Life, April 2024. I'd like to call up Robert Ralston, One Legacy Ambassador from Donate Life. Hi, Robert. Whereas organ, eye, tissue, marrow, and blood donation are life-giving acts recognized worldwide as expressions of compassion to those in need. More than 110,000 individuals nationwide and more than 23,000 in California are currently on the National Organ Transplant waiting list, and on average, 22 people die each day while waiting. The need for donated organs is especially urgent in Hispanic, Latino, and African American communities. A single individual's donation of the heart, lungs, liver, kidney, pancreas, and small intestine can save up to 8 lives. Donation of tissue can save and heal the lives of more than 75 others. Organ donors saved more than 46,000 lives last year, the most ever. And whereas any person can register to be an organ, eye, and tissue donor regardless of age or medical conditions, being a registered donor does not impact the quality of life-saving medical care a person receives in an emergency. And whereas California residents can sign up to be an organ, eye, and tissue donor when applying for or renewing their driver's license or ID cards at the California Department of Motor Vehicles. California residents can sign up with the Donate Life California Donor Registry online at any time by visiting www.donatelifecalifornia.org, or for Spanish speakers, www.vidacalifornia.org. California residents interested in saving a life through living kidney donation may visit www.livingdonationcalifornia.org. Now, therefore, be it resolved that in the recognition of National Donate Life Month, the month of April 2024 is hereby proclaimed DMV/Donate Life Month in the city of Chino. And in doing so, we encourage all Californians to check yes online or when applying for or renewing their driver's license or ID card at the DMV. Robert.
Thank you. First of all, thank you, Honorable Mayor.
Years and years.
10.
10 years.
It's been 16 years since I was at the gym, and of course, I was a lot younger then, and I was lifting, and I felt something pull around my belly button. Went home, woke up in the morning, and my innie was an outie, my belly button. It's called an umbilical hernia, and it just popped. And but I kept working. I went to the doctor, and he says, well, we could operate, but we don't have to operate as long as you can deal with the pain. And I was a locomotive engineer for 30 years. I drove trains. So I just kept going to work. I put on my weight belt, my kidney belt, and cinch it up tight and climb the ladder and run the locomotive. And I did that for about another 3 years, and it got worse and worse. I finally decided to have the surgery and get it fixed. When I did, about a month after the surgery, I go in for a follow-up checkup, and the wound wasn't healing. They cleaned it out a little bit, had me come back in another 2 weeks. Come back in 2 weeks. This went on for 6 months. Make a long story short, after 6 months, and put me on every antibiotic in the world. You guys that have been in the military, you know what Cipro is. That's like one of the nastiest antibiotics. That was like one of the last ones they put me on, trying to figure out why I wouldn't heal shut. They opened me up, took that screen out, and found out I had a raging staph infection going on for 6 months. So it ate one of my kidneys and about half of my liver, and I went straight on the liver transplant list. So 3 years on the liver transplant list, getting worse by the day. And I was finishing up a doctor appointment at Scripps in San Diego, and the doctor says, you better get your affairs in order. You got about 6 months. That's all you got. So by the grace of God, miracles of modern medicine, and a donor in Tennessee, I got a new liver, and saved my life. I was down to about 120 pounds soaking wet, and now I'm back up to a fat and sassy 210. And but anyways, ever since I could get up and walk, I said, I'm going to become an ambassador and make sure more people get lucky like I did. So here I am, getting the proclamation. Like Eunice said, there'll be 23 people that run out of time. The phone won't ring for them tonight. They'll die waiting for the phone to ring. Phone rang for me. So get that pink dot.
And you're here with us.
Yes.
Well, it's a privilege to have Robert here every year for this, and I know he gets choked up every year, but
Yeah.
it's a hard thing, as you can imagine, to be dying and then saved at the last moment because someone was good enough to have that pink dot. So,
Yes.
yeah, we encourage everyone to seriously consider being a donor. Thank you.
One more quick thing. The proclamation is going to go to Donate Life Run Walk, April 27th at Azusa Pacific College. There's a run walk we have every year. About 10 to 15,000 people make it every year. They have really good name bands. One of those boy bands was there. I'm not a boy band fan, but everybody was amazed. Oh my God, they're really there. And but they have really good music. This will be on display along with one from the Chief, one from Chino Hills. Another thing, the whole month of April, you guys drive around. Every time you drive by a fire station, you're going to see my Donate Life flag. They're flying on every fire station throughout Chino Valley for the whole month of April.
Oh, that's great.
So it's all about getting the word out.
A very close friend of ours had a lung transplant last year. And he will be there. He also is a hot air balloonist. He had the balloons set up at our big celebration this last year. And he's going to set up a hot air balloon there as a fundraiser. So,
Very cool.
yeah, it's at Azusa Pacific, April 27th, right?
April 27th.
27th.
Yes.
So if you can go, I think it's going to be a really fun event. Problem is we have the corn feed car show run here that Saturday. So we told Dale we're not going to be able to make it.
Well, I
but
just had my left knee replaced, so I can't run anyway, so I'll probably come to the car show.
car show?
I'll drive my vet and come here.
Good deal. Okay.
All right.
Thanks for being here, Robert.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next, this is going to be fun. We have the City of Chino 2023 photo contest winners. Congratulations to our City of Chino 2023 photo contest winners. Thank you for sharing your perspective of the Chino community and culture through your lens, camera lens that is. We received over 100 submissions and we're excited to recognize the winning photos here this evening. Each winner will receive a certificate and Chino swag with a gift card from a local Chino eatery. Their photos may also be used in city marketing materials and on the website. First, the winner for the category Chino Animals, I'd like to call up Jessica Lau. Her winning photo is titled Bad to the Bone. Jessica? First, we have a certificate of congratulations. We're proud to recognize your winning photo contest entry, Chino Animals, Bad to the Bone. Thank you for participating. And here's a little bit, few gifts of Chino stuff. Okay, stay here because we're getting a group photo. Next, for the category of Chino Fun, we have Heather Peralta. Her winning photo is entitled Cruisin'. Certificate for you and some goodies.
Thank you.
Next, category winner Chino Living, Carolyn Becerril. Her winning photo is entitled Unforgettable Magical Moments in Chino. Carolina, you're welcome. And your goodies. Winner for the category Chino Nature and Landmarks, George Borja. His winning photo is titled Most Amazing Nature in Our Backyard. George? It's a certificate. You want to give it to her? And then the winner for the category Chino Sports, Kimura Moore. Her winning photo is titled Family and Sports Picture. Kimura. Let's give him a big hand of appreciation. Are you going to get a photo? What photos? Thank you very much for participating. Great photos. Okay, now for the Business of the Month award. Here in Chino, we know that our small businesses are a cornerstone of our community, and the health of our residents is of the utmost importance. Our Business of the Month is a place where women in our city can go to not only reach their physical fitness goals, but a place that empowers them to be their very best selves. For the month of April 2024, we would like to recognize Beachbody Studios as our Business of the Month. I'd like to call up the representative for Beachbody Studios, honor Rosie Nava and her staff. Please join me up front. My. Do you have other people you want to bring up, Rosie?
Come on down, all of you.
Come on, staff, come on. With the philosophy centered on sisterhood and kindness, Beachbody Studios has made a great impact on the lives of women in our community. Since opening 1 year ago, Rosie Nava and her staff have provided a positive space for physical fitness. Clients describe the gym as a welcoming place with trainers that strive to help you reach your goals. Classes are described as challenging, positive, and supportive. Rosie herself is not only the owner of Beachbody Studios, but she's also a trainer known for her encouraging, caring, attentive, supportive, and empowering approach with her clients. Beyond their fitness offerings, Beachbody Studios is also deeply involved in our community. They organize different fundraising events where 100% of the proceeds are donated to support breast cancer survivors and veterans. Additionally, they support local food pantries by collecting food during the holidays. Rosie moved from Los Angeles to Chino and says she and her family have been warmly embraced by our community. Her children attend school here, her church is in Chino, and she resides in our city as well. She has shared that she, quote, wouldn't have it any other way, unquote, as she truly loves our city. Please join me in congratulating Beachbody Studios for being our April 2024 Business of the Month recipient. And please accept this plaque as a congratulations and tell us a little bit about your gym.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank God for life, for all of our lives, and thank you for your hard work, and thank you for your dedication. And law enforcement, we support you and appreciate you. Everyone here that supported me, thank you so much. When I started Beachbody Studios, I wanted to create a safe place where women can be strong and vulnerable at the same time, and just come as they are. We're here to help every woman. We are a judgment-free zone. We want to encourage everyone to be kind and just, you know, no gossip, no cattiness. Just keep that out the door and just stay positive. And yeah, that's it. And I couldn't have journeyed alone. I have an incredible staff. These two are my trainers. I have admin and some of my clients here that saw the vision that I had and was crazy enough to follow me along and see if we can impact the city in as much as we can.
Now, why the name?
Beachbody Studios. Since I was 19, I've always had a great connection just building glutes, and I know it's and then I help women go on stage, and that was my specialty. And then I just got really good with core and just building the women's physique all around. And I was able to train my trainers to do the same, and we're kind of known for that. So, but we're known for more than that. We, again, we have women from all walks of life. Sometimes some battle depression, and, you know, fitness is what they find to help them heal, or anxiety. They cope with it through fitness, and some similar, we can relate to some like divorce backgrounds and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's more than just a gym. I think we find inner strength more than outer strength.
Why don't you give your address?
7041 Schaefer Avenue, Unit F, Chino, 91710.
Right in the Stater Brothers Center.
Right in the Stater Brothers Center, yeah. Our sign just went up, so.
So
Yeah.
see, if we all join Beachbody, then we'll be thinner. How about that?
I can help you with any of your goals, whatever that is. Yeah, you're welcome.
All ages, right?
We welcome everyone, yes, all ages, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
for being
appreciate
here.
it.
You're welcome. Wait, she has to get a picture. you. And lastly, we have the Mayor's Home Beautification Award. Unfortunately, the couple were not able to be here, but we're going to show their picture. It's Mr. Yu Chun Chen and Pei Ling Kwao of 14550 Rice Avenue. We will get the normal pins and certificate and yard sign and that to them, but that's the picture of their home. Okay. We did have a closed session prior to the beginning of the meeting. I'd like to ask our attorney to provide us a report out of that meeting.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council, and all those present. The City Council met and held a discussion on 3 items on the closed session portion of the agenda, as reported by the mayor, beginning with item 1, conference with legal counsel, 1 item of anticipated litigation under the heading initiation of litigation. City Council received a briefing, provided direction, and no further reportable action was taken. On item number 2, conference with legal counsel, 1 item of existing litigation, the matter of Hoffman versus City of Chino. The city received an update on the status of that matter, provided direction, and no further reportable action was taken. Item number 3, conference with real property negotiator concerning the property at 13201 9th Street, with the negotiating party being Kavos Imami. City Council considered that potential acquisition, the price and terms of that potential acquisition, provided direction, no further reportable action was taken. That concludes the report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager Reich, do we have any additional or revisions to the agenda?
Yes, Mayor, we'd like to pull 14 for a report, please.
Okay, will do. We do have information within our agenda report. I encourage you all to access that. It's January and February reports. Next, under public announcements. Join us for Healthy Family Day this Saturday. Combining the joys of annual Healthy Family Day with the rescheduled Bark Around the Park event, we're hosting a unique day-long celebration that encourages a healthy way of life for families and their furry companions. Enjoy a variety of activities, including fitness demonstrations, engaging family contests, children's activities, and a chance to meet your favorite superheroes. The event takes place at Ayala Park on Saturday, April 6th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. For more information, please visit www.cityofchino.org//HFD. Gear up and save the date for the Corn Feed Run Car Show and Cruise, taking place on Saturday, April 27th from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. at City Hall. Hosted by the Chino Kiwanis Clubs, enjoy a day filled with magnificent classic automobiles as they parade along a 13-block route. Accompanied by live DJ performances, the event also features booths from local vendors. It's an event you will not want to miss. Visit www.chinokiwanis.com for more details. And last, all residents are welcome to take part in the free Residential Community Cleanup Day happening Saturday, April 13th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at 13793 Redwood Street. This event is a collaboration between the City of Chino and Waste Management and provides an opportunity for you to clear out unwanted household items, including furniture, electronic devices, green waste, and more, in an environmentally friendly manner. Remember to bring a California ID and a utility bill as proof of residency. Please note, hazardous materials will not be collected at this event. For more information, contact us at 1-800-423-9986. Next item on the agenda is public communication. This is the time and the place for the general public to address the council on items that do not appear elsewhere. I have a written request to speak from Chaplain Henry Aguilar, Chino Valley Fire Department. Now, he's going to lead us in an invocation, and I encourage all of those who want to join us to please stand.
Good evening, everyone. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we come before you this evening. We praise you for who you are, the Almighty God. And Lord, I ask blessings upon this city council meeting, Lord. Pray for our city mayor and our council members, Lord, our fire chief and our police chief, and also our first responders, Lord. Father, we thank you for your continuous blessings upon our city of Chino, Lord. We ask blessings upon the surrounding cities as well. And we just thank you, Father, that we can come before your throne with our petitions. We love you and we praise you, and it is in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Henry. Next written request to speak is Melissa Campani from Supervisor Hagman's office.
Well, good evening, Mayor, council members, staff, and of course, our residents. My name is Melissa Campani, and I'm here representing Kurt Hagman, your county supervisor. And I just wanted to give a few announcements of upcoming activities. We have a lot going on, and we're always thrilled to share with the city of Chino our good free events. The first one I'd like to talk about, in depth of course, is the job fair and expungement fair that we're going to be having on May the 8th. It's a wonderful event. We were able to help so many people in the last couple of years. So I will explain that a little bit for you. It is, in addition to a job fair, we do have many employers. It was a full room. There's also a record clearing service. So this is an opportunity for people to meet with law offices of the public defender and to receive assistance to start dealing with the record clearing process. We do have many residents who, for whatever reason, might have something on a record that would prohibit them from getting a job. In many cases, maybe when they were a teenager, they had something, and they just don't know how to go about taking care of this. So we are prepared to help people on that particular day with the public defender's office there and letting people know what they are qualified for. So we're thrilled with this event. This will be taking place on May the 8th, which I believe I said, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now this location, it is where we were last year in case we had anyone stop by last year. It's at the Ontario International Airport. But I say that this is the old Ontario Airport, not the new one, the old building where you would get there and then you'd run down a few feet to your area and then you'd walk up the stairs to the airplane. That airport right there. And that is Terminal 1, 1940 Moore Way, and that is in Ontario. There's a phone number for you of 1-800-451-JOBS. And this is hosted by San Bernardino County. We have workforce development, transitional assistance, veteran affairs, preschool services, and of course that I mentioned, the public defender's office. And it is also being sponsored by Ontario International Airport and the City of Ontario. But we do encourage all residents of the 4th District, if they are interested, to please come out. You can register at eventbrite.com. And once again, because we do expect some crowds, it's always a good thing to do that. So the other one, we don't have our flyers quite ready, but I know Chino always likes a sneak peek. I've watched Supervisor Hagman. He always gives a sneak peek of something. So we're going to do that today. I know coming up in June, we are going to have our shredding event, which is very popular here in the city of Chino. And that's where it's going to be. So the upcoming next shredding event here in the city of Chino, that will be June 15th. The details will be following. And also Supervisor Hagman is hosting his annual open house that we also have a street fair. It's a wonderful opportunity if there were any county departments you wanted information about. Maybe you just like to see what your county is doing. We do have many different departments that come out. We close the street in front of Supervisor Hagman's office, and they set up and they're there to answer any questions that residents may have. So we'll be getting more information on that soon. And you can always follow Supervisor Hagman, receive his emails to find out about all these free events. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thank you, Melissa. Next written request to speak is Brian Yonan Subject smog emissions.
Hello, Council. How are you doing today?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, so here we're going to start this real quick. My name is Brian Yonan, and I was born in 1972. I'm going to have a request after I speak, but I'm an inventor, and I invented a device that goes on all the vehicles. In 2014, Air Resources Board called me and they said, we're going to put your device on all the vehicles. Well, my point of contact at the Environmental Protection Agency just yesterday told me that they're never going to change that device, and as you can see outside, it's beautiful. Since I've been alive, I've never seen plumes, giant plumes of clouds like I've seen just lately. Yeah, I was in 1977. I was riding my bike. I was only 5 years old, and a Peterbilt went by, and black smoke came out, and I was like, wow. And it just was so dirty, and I said to myself, I'm gonna help clean that somehow. Well, in 2014, they told me that they were gonna put my device on all the vehicles. I'm very proud to be up here, but my request is, I was wondering, there's a fountain on the park right here, and there's years that go by of the history of Chino, and I was wondering if you could put my business name and the year, obviously the year's right there, the city of Chino put the C in clean air for clean air emissions. There won't be any more devices on diesels or vehicles. Literally, it's just going to keep getting cleaner. I put glow plugs inside of an exhaust system, and I built 64 different devices in my garage, and it's an amazing thing. I'm maybe a loss for words, but I'm on my road bike out there, and I can't believe how clean it is. It's gorgeous. So I was wondering if you could put my Diesel Green Emissions Corporation on a stone out there in the park.
Well, I don't know. You can talk to our...
Could you judge? Could you maybe vote on it?
Well, we can't take action on anything that's not on the agenda.
So
But
maybe
what
I'll be on the agenda another day.
What I will have you do is talk to our staff, give your information to our staff, and it'll go to our Parks Recreation department, and they'll look and see what our policy is on that wall, see if it's appropriate.
There's a possibility.
Maybe, I don't know. We have to see
Okay.
what the policy
All
is
right,
for
well,
that wall.
when you're out there driving your cars or running or walking and you see how beautiful it is, just think of glow plugs.
Okay, thank you, Brian, for being here. Those are the only written requests to speak I have. Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to address the council on any item that is not on the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the consent calendar. And as our city manager noted, we are pulling item number 14 for separate action. Any council members wish to have any items pulled from the consent calendar? Okay, then I would entertain a motion in a second. Is it not working? Oh. Okay, we need a second. It doesn't appear to be working, Natalie. Oh, there it is. Okay, motion from Councilman Burton, second from Mayor Pro Tem Comstock. Please vote. We're missing Karen, you're on there. Kurt, there. Item passes unanimously. Item number 14, city manager has pulled for a separate report. That is the construction credit reimbursement agreement with Chino Development Corporation, a California corporation, and the Chino Preserve Development Corporation, a California corporation, for the construction of water source, storage, and distribution improvements at various locations in the preserve. This is to adopt a resolution and approve a construction credit reimbursement agreement for the amount of not to exceed $28,753,683.02 for the construction of water source, storage, and distribution improvements at various locations in the preserve. Staff report, please.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and members of the council. I want to introduce to you Sylvia Ramos, who could give you some updates on this item.
Okay.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and members of the City Council. In 2004, the city entered into a development agreement with 3 entities of Lewis Management Corporation, known as Chino Development Corporation, Chino Preserve Development Corporation, and Chino Holdings Company, collectively referred to as Lewis. The Preserve DA, as amended in conjunction with the conditions of approval for several tracts, or Lewis tracts, required Lewis to design and construct various water facilities as a condition of development of the preserve. Major projects completed by Lewis include the East Side Water Treatment Facility Phase 1 and Phase 2, several drinking water wells, and various potable and recycled water lines. These water facilities are included in the city's development impact fee programs in the general city and the preserve and are eligible for DIF credit and reimbursement. It should be noted that it was not until 2019 that the city adopted a policy and updated the DIF ordinance to include provisions for public bidding and construction for DIF-eligible projects. As a result, development projects post-2019 are conditioned to enter into an agreement with the city as applicable for DIF credit and reimbursement prior to building permit issuance. Therefore, the city was required to reconcile all of the water DIF facilities constructed prior to 2019, which are being done retroactively and reconciled together, which explains the large amount. More recently, Lewis submitted to the city the backup documentation for all the costs associated with the construction of the water improvements that I previously mentioned that were constructed prior to 2019. The costs were summarized in the construction reimbursement agreement, Exhibit 1. To effectively show all of the costs, staff had to really do an extensive review. So we had to work with Lewis over several months to get all of the costs organized because a lot of the costs were submitted via community facility districts payment request submittals. Also, there were prior reimbursements from several years back that were just reimbursed without an agreement really associated, so staff had to go back and do research through Laserfish to make sure that we were capturing all of the costs. And then we also had to review all of the water lines for the additional stuff that Lewis was requesting. So it was a very long process, but we were able to extract information and show it accurately. So staff and the city's consultant DTA reviewed all of the final accepted as-built plans, specifications, and supporting documentation, and determined that $26,578,869.28 is eligible for DIF credit and reimbursement. Additionally, Lewis purchased water DIF credit from Watson Land Company per the terms of the credit reimbursement agreement for the Phase 2 Eastside Water Treatment Facility in the amount of $2,174,813.74. Therefore, bringing the total available credits and reimbursements owed to Lewis to $28,753,683.02. That sounds like a very large number. However, staff had to reconcile all of the credits validated. We validated all of the credits that were issued to Lewis Developments through September 2023. That was deducted from the amount that we owe Lewis. So Lewis received $26,449,219.86 in DIF credit, which was deducted from what we owed them. So moving forward, we only owe Lewis $2,304,463.22. It should be noted that in January 2024, staff did bring as an informational item to the Infrastructure Committee to briefly discuss the water improvements constructed by Lewis, the costs associated, the DIF credits issued over the last 20 years. This was necessary due to the size of the submittal and to better explain the nuances associated with staff's review of the backup documentation provided by the developer. Staff conveyed to the committee that Lewis would be utilizing DIF credits for future building permits. However, after talking to Lewis, they also want to receive cash reimbursement when fund balances are available in addition to the credits until the terms of the agreement are fulfilled. At this time, there is no available fund balance to pay the developer a progress payment, so staff will continue to monitor the fund balances annually and bring back to the City Council an annual reconciliation of the credits and then pay the developer if funds are available at that time. Therefore, it's staff's recommendation to the City Council to adopt Resolution 2024-009 giving the developer the highest priority reimbursement of funds from the preserve over any other developer, and approve a construction credit reimbursement to Lewis in the amount not to exceed $28,753,683.02. That concludes my report.
Do we have any idea at all when the balance that we owe them will be paid?
Well,
Any guesstimate?
it's hard to say because developers that are coming in and they're building water infrastructure, they're entering into credit reimbursement agreements, so they do get credit for their DIF obligation. However, there's not that much that we owe them, so we're going to continue to apply credit, so they'll probably utilize the credit provision in the agreement, and then if anything becomes available, they'll get a reimbursement at that time.
So they could actually not receive any cash because their credits may get that item down to zero.
Correct.
Okay, so just time will tell.
Time will tell.
Okay. Thank you very much. Staff, any questions of staff from the council? Okay, then we need a motion and a second to approve item number 14. Motion from Councilman Burton, second from Councilman Lucio. Please vote. Come on. Item passes unanimously. Next, under new business, item number 15, construction credit reimbursement agreement with Chino Development Corporation, a California corporation, and Chino Preserve Development Corporation, a California corporation, for the construction of storm drain improvements at various locations in the preserve. This item is to adopt resolution number 2024-013 and approve a construction credit reimbursement agreement for an amount not to exceed $6,485,122.11 for storm drain improvements at various locations in the preserve, and appropriate $500,000 from Fund 263. Staff report will once again be provided by Sylvia Ramos, our Associate Engineer, and Hygen Lee, our Director of Public Works.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and members of the City Council. So I'm going to kind of repeat some of the stuff I said in this previous staff report. So we entered into the development agreement with Lewis Management Corp. in 2004. Lewis, as you may know, is the master developer in the preserve, so they're required to build the majority of the infrastructure, and they have done so for the storm drain lines since the beginning of the preserve in 2004 to now. Several years ago, Lewis completed $36.7 million in drainage improvements to support developments in the City of Ontario and the preserve. The improvements include Kimball and Bickmore natural treatment basins and channels, as well as various storm drain lines in the northern portion of the preserve, which we refer to as the Phase 1 improvements. And if you look at the slide, the stuff that you see in red is the stuff that was constructed under Phase 1, and then the lines that are brown are the channels leading to the detention basins that were constructed. Chino entered into a reimbursement agreement with the City of Ontario for Ontario's share, which totaled $12.9 million. Ontario paid a one-time partial payment to Chino, which was a straight pass-through to Lewis, and the remaining balance owed to the developer was converted to a development impact fee credit certificate, which the city assigned to Lewis, thus fulfilling the terms of the current agreement. Additionally, the city and Lewis entered into a formal agreement for the city's fair share costs totaling $23.8 million. Over several years, staff completed annual reviews of the credits issued to Lewis and evaluated the fees collected in the preserve. Staff continued to deduct the credits and make cash payments to Lewis, thus fulfilling the terms of the agreement for Phase 1 in 2021. More recently, Lewis submitted a reimbursement request to the city for additional storm drain facilities, which were not included as part of the Phase 1 improvements previously reconciled. The additional improvements are shown in blue. The additional improvements constructed by Lewis include a portion of Line F, Line B, and Line H. The additional improvements are included in the Storm Drain Development Impact Fee Program and are eligible for DIF credit and reimbursement. Staff and the city's consultant reviewed the final accepted as-built plans, specifications, and supporting documentation, and determined that $6,485,122.11 is eligible for DIF credit and reimbursement. Upon the cost being validated by city staff, staff reconciled the storm drain credits issued to Lewis's guest builders through December 31st, 2023, which total $19,984,914.52. Of this amount, $14.9 million was deducted from the total credits issued to Lewis for the Phase 1 improvements, bringing forward a credit balance of $5,001,704.16. The validated costs for the additional improvements exceed the credit balance amount. Therefore, Lewis is entitled to a credit and reimbursement in the amount of $1,483,417.95 moving forward. Staff is recommending a $500,000 cash reimbursement based on the available fund balance, which is $3.9 million, thus bringing the balance forward still owed to the developer in the amount of $983,417.95. Again, per the terms of the agreement, staff will continue to work with Lewis on an annual basis to reconcile the credits that are issued to Lewis, and then we'll deduct the credits and look at the fund balances and then bring back an action to pay them cash if it's available, and then deduct the credit amount and then bring a balance forward until the terms of the agreement are fulfilled. That concludes my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you, Sylvia. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to ask any questions on this item or have any comments? Any comments or questions from council?
I just.
Kurt?
I apologize, I didn't hear, sorry about that. The different lines on the slide, line J, which is the brown, which line is that?
The channel, they're the earthen channels that connect the basins, the Kimball and the Bickmore Basin.
And I apologize, the what channels?
They're called earthen channels.
Earthen, okay.
They're not lines.
Right, I didn't understand that, thank you.
Any other questions or need of clarification? Okay, then we need a motion and a second to approve item number 15. Motion from Mayor Pro Tem Comstock, second from Councilman Flores. Please vote. Item passes unanimously. Item number 16, certification of election results for the March 5th, 2024 special municipal election ballot measure V. This item is to adopt resolution 2024-014, reciting the facts of the special municipal election, declaring the results, and such other matters as provided by law, and adopt ordinance number 2024-007, the second reading. Staff report this evening will be provided by our city clerk, Natalie Gonzaga.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. On March 5th, 2024, the City of Chino held a special municipal election in consolidation with the presidential primary election, where ballot measure V was submitted to the voters for consideration. Ballot measure V proposed the adoption of a new chapter 3.18 to the Chino Municipal Code titled Transactions and Use Tax to implement a transaction tax rate of 1% per dollar of the gross receipts of any retailer from the sale of all tangible personal property sold at retail in said territory on or after the operative date of the proposed ordinance. The ordinance submitted to the voters was entitled An Ordinance of the City Council of the City of Chino, California, establishing a transaction and use tax to be administered by the California Department of Tax and Fee Administration. On March 29th, 2024, the San Bernardino County Registrar of Voters completed the canvass and certified the results of this election. As reported in the statement of votes attached as Exhibit A to Resolution Number 2024-014, Measure V was approved by a majority of the voters for this election. 14,433 votes were cast for the City of Chino Measure V. This includes 8,385 yes votes, 5,550 no votes, 496 undervotes, and 2 overvotes. Adoption of Resolution Number 2024-014 will meet the requirements to declare the results of the March 5th, 2024 special municipal election. Additionally, approval is being requested for ordinance number 2024-007 on second reading that was first introduced and approved by the City Council at the November 21st, 2023 City Council meeting. This concludes my report, and I am happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Natalie. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the council on this item? Seeing none, any questions or comments from the council? Okay, seeing none, we might need a motion and a second. There's a motion from Mayor Pro Tem Comstock, second from Councilman Burton. Fred, do you need to read the ordinance for the second time?
I did not. I do not. I already read it when it was introduced. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, then please vote. Curtis? Okay, the item passes unanimously. Item number 17, administration and examination of the records of the local transition and use tax, Measure V. This item is to adopt resolutions authorizing agreements with the California Department of Tax and Fee Administration to implement a local transaction and use tax and authorize examination of sales or transactions and use tax transactions. Approve a contract with HDL companies. Our staff report this evening is provided by our Director of Finance, Mr. Rob Burns.
Good evening, Mayor and members of City Council. With the certification of the Measure V election results, the city now needs to work with the California Department of Tax and Fee Administration to implement the additional 1% transaction and use tax. The CDTFA requires that the city adopt two resolutions. The first one authorizes the city manager to execute all the documents that are necessary, and the second resolution authorizes certain city positions as well as the city's sales tax consultant, HDL, to be able to access the confidential sales tax data. Additionally, staff is seeking approval of the amendment to HDL's contract to allow them to analyze and collect the data for the transaction and use tax for the city. With that approval tonight, it is anticipated that the transaction and use tax will take effect July 1 of this year. As indicated in the staff report, the new transaction tax will be placed into a new fund entitled Measure V 2024. These funds will be tracked separately for both collections and uses. That concludes my report, and I'm available for any questions.
Thank you very much, Rob. Anyone in the audience like to address the council on this item? Seeing none, any comments or questions from council? Okay, then we would need a motion and a second to pass item number 17. Motion from Mayor Pro Tem Comstock, second from Councilman Lucio. Please vote. Item passes unanimously. Next on the agenda is Mayor and Council reports. Okay, let's see. Wednesday, March 20th, along with council members and staff, we visited Tanaka Farms in Orange County to learn about and experience their public education program and the benefits of having a local farm where residents can pick and buy locally grown produce and children can learn about farming. On Thursday, March 21st, I attended the Water Facilities Authority Board of Directors, and I attended the Salute to Public Safety, where Chino Police Department, Chino Hills Sheriff's Department, Chino Valley Fire Department, and the California Institution for Men and the California Institution for Women personnel were honored for their exemplary performances. That afternoon, along with Mayor Pro Tem Comstock, I attended the Legislative Committee meeting. Friday, March 22nd, I met with the local realtors group to update them on current affairs. And that afternoon, participated in the Steve McQueen Car Show Rally, sending over 45 cars off on their first leg of their weekend rally. Monday, March 25th, I attended a special Omnitrans Board of Directors meeting. Tuesday, March 26th, I attended my weekly meeting with our city manager, and after meeting with her, filmed my part of our State of the City production. Thursday, March 28th, I attended the Chino de Salter Authority Finance Committee meeting, and the House of Ruth re-grand opening in Pomona. Approximately 8 months ago, a car crashed into their facility, and rebuilding the massive damage was quite an undertaking, but several organizations chipped in and provided them space to continue their valuable work while the construction was taking place. And then Tuesday, today, it met with City Manager Reich and Assistant City Manager Jackie Melendez, and then prior to this meeting, attended our closed session. Mayor Pro Tem Comstock.
Thank you, Mayor. On the 21st, that Thursday, Mayor, I also attended the Salute to Public Safety with several members of the council and our staff. It's a very nice event that the Chamber puts on to honor all of our local public safety. Chief Williams and Chief Minson, you guys did a great job honoring your team there, and also just enjoyed some clever banter that's always fun to see between our local public safety directors. And then later, Mayor, I also attended the Legislative Policy Committee meeting with you, which was covered in our notes tonight in the council agenda. I also briefly stopped in on the 22nd with the mayor and Councilmember Flores to the rally, the Steve McQueen rally that benefits Boys Republic. Boy, you want to see a nice place there at Cantor's Corner, as well as a lot of nice cars that were involved in that rally. It was neat to see not just that piece of, I would say, just a collection of great memorabilia that was nice for that family to open their doors to Boys Republic and fundraise for such a good program in our community in the Chino Valley. On Saturday, the 23rd, I got up bright and early and drove out to Vegas to support the Chino Police Department Baker to Vegas team. I arrived promptly, checked in my hotel, and drove directly to my location where I picked up the support van and helped the Chino Police Department win a mug in their division. I want to say they came in 83rd in a field of 258 and 6th in their division, which is quite impressive. So the team continues to get better and better, Chief, every year. I know they were hoping for a platform team, but that is certainly something to be proud of. I was looking at the top overall running team. It was the New York PD Men's Elite Team, and most of those runners ran a 6-minute or sub 6-minute mile. It was, quite amazing. So congratulations to your team, Chief, and thank you for your support of them as well out there that weekend. I got back from that event on the 27th, Wednesday the 27th. I am here at 4 p.m. in this council chambers along with Councilmember Lucio. I attended the Infrastructure and Streets Policy Committee meeting. And then that takes me into the Easter weekend, Mayor, where I was busy with family, and into tonight's closed session for city, with the council, and to the meeting tonight, Mayor. So that's going to complete my report.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Burton.
Thank you, Mayor. On the 20th, I attended Tanaka Farms field trip with the staff and partial council. After that, I attended the Planning Commission meeting. On the 21st, I also attended the Salute to Public Safety, which is a tremendous event. The 22nd through the 25th, I was also part of the Baker to Vegas support team. There's no way in the world I could ever run those legs out in the middle of the desert. Just imagine the road from Baker to Las Vegas, the back way, up through Pahrump, just desolate, nothing out there but sand. The wind was blowing, it was like a sandstorm, and the majority of the way it was uphill. Very, very impressed with our runners. We did a tremendous job, and all I had to do was drive the van and keep them out of trouble as they ran down the road. That's right, so I really enjoyed it. The first, I attended my meeting with the city manager, and that also took me into this evening on closed session, and that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay. Councilman Flores, you have item number 18, the Community Support Fund.
Yes, hi. Thank you, Mayor. So I'm asking for approval from the council for Community Support Fund contribution of $500 to the Don Lugo Sports Booster.
Okay, we need a motion and a second to approve item number 18. Motion from Councilman Burton, second from Mayor Pro Tem Comstock. Please vote. And your item passes unanimously.
Thank you. So on the 20th of March, I, along with the rest of the council and staff, attended the Tanaka Farms field trip as well. On the 21st, I attended the Salute to Public Safety as well. On the 23rd, had a chance to stop by the bowling brunch down in the preserve and joined the three-point shooting contest. Made it to the championship round, but lost. On the 25th, I attended a water meeting here with some of our staff, and later on that night, I attended the Community Services Parks and Rec Commission meeting. I will say for that, I think there was a great idea that came up. I forgot which commissioner mentioned it, but we saw today our photo contest winners who were presented today, and we also have our chalk art winners. One idea that was presented is using their art and create some sort of city calendar out of it. So again, I wish I can give credit to the commissioner who proposed that, but there's that. On the 27th, I attended the boxing board meeting, and I will say we're getting into the details of our August fight night, and I do want to mention that there's 4 commitments that I'm looking for. We got 2 commitments already. One from the corrections. We have a correctional officer who's going to step up and fight that night. We have the owner of Papa Chino's who is going to jump in the ring as well. So we got those 2 commitments. And we have to the April 20th, 18 days from today, to solidify 2 more. And those 2 more we're hoping to get from the police department, at least one, and from our fire department as well.
Is
So
that
just
why
plan-
Chief Williams is turning red?
But we already solidified Chief Williams' spot as the, what do you call it? The cut man. All right, we got you for that, no problem. So just planting that seat there. Hopefully we can get 2 more commitments. And on the 30th, I attended the Easter Bunny extravaganza for a little while before I realized really nobody, I didn't have any kids there and the rest of the council wasn't there. And I said, this is not for me. I should probably go. But nonetheless, it was a great event, and thank you to our staff that was there. There was a lot of children there having a great time. So with that, that concludes my comments, Mayor. Thank you.
You didn't dress up as the Easter Bunny?
No.
No. Councilman Lucio.
Yes, on the 20th, I also attended the Tanaka Farms event or tour. On the 26th, I had a meeting with the city manager and the assistant city manager, Jackie Melendez. Later that day, I also concluded my filming of the State of the City. On the 27th, I had a meeting with Aaron O'Leary from Lewis Communities. On the 27th, I also attended the Infrastructure Streets Committee meeting with Mayor Pro Tem Comstock. And on the 30th, I did a blood donation for the Red Cross. They were having one there in the Pomona facility that they have. And if you haven't been to their Pomona facility, it's beautiful. It's I think they had something with a radio station they donated, but it's really, really nice. I've never seen. It's right on the Cal Poly Pomona campus. So it's inside Cal Poly Pomona, and they actually have a street called Red Cross Circle, which is where the building's located, but it's gorgeous. I've never seen such a nice building. Then on the 31st, obviously, I enjoyed Easter with the family, and on the 2nd today, I attended a meeting with the city manager and Jackie Melendez again, and that's all I have.
Okay. City Manager Reich,
Thank
anything
you, Mayor.
this evening?
No report tonight, other than wishing you a happy birthday for next week.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. Should we just sing it now?
Yeah, let's do it. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mayor. Happy birthday to you.
That's almost as embarrassing as when everybody wore sunglasses when I had eye
That was
surgery.
good. Yeah, I was in on that.
That was something. Well, thank you very much. Attorney Galante, anything this evening?
It's really hard to follow that, but so last week a case came down that I believe is important to all cities that have caps on residential densities, such as Chino with Measure M. The case is AIDS Healthcare Foundation versus Bonta. That case interpreted SB 10, which was adopted in the 2021 legislative session. And what SB 10 essentially says is that cities may ignore voter initiative density caps in their decision to zone properties for up to 10 dwelling units per parcel. A lot of legal opinions before this case came down was that the right to override the initiative power under Article 2, Section 11 of the California Constitution is unconstitutional because that power is stated in the Constitution as an initiative right that your residents have to override city councils and legislative bodies. The decision of the court disagreed and said SB 10 is appropriate given the shortage of housing in California, and that authorizes a legislative body to take advantage of those provisions. It doesn't mandate, so if that is ever presented to a city such as Chino, it would be up to the city council to decide whether to override those measures. But it's fairly unique and new case law that really creates a lot of changes to the law. The entity that challenged it, the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, was very much of the opinion that they wanted to protect the initiative power of the citizenry, and that's why they had standing to bring the action, and the city of Redondo Beach also joined in, arguing that that power should not be taken away from the voters, but they lost that case. So just thought it would be a significant case to report. Happy to answer
That's
any
tragic
questions.
because it just continues to undermine the citizens' trust in elected officials. It's terrible. It just undermines local control. Well, it's up to us to uphold what our citizens want to do, doggone it. Okay, gee, thanks, Fred, for that news. Chief Menson, do you have anything good tonight?
Yes, I do.
Please.
Well, first off, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem and Councilmember Burton, for participating and helping out with the Baker to Vegas. I am very proud of the team. This was the fastest race that they've ran. They participated in this, I think, probably 4, 5, 6 years, and this is the fastest they've ran it. They beat their time by nearly 20 minutes.
Wow.
So they did a very good job. I know they've been training for this for quite some time. And then just secondly, I want to talk about, so we've had a long history of participating with the Special Olympics, and we're going to continue to do that again this year. We have some events coming up. On Saturday, April 13th, we're going to be participating in the Inland Empire Games at Murrieta Mesa High School, where we're going to have some officers out there that'll be presenting the athletes with medals. And then we're going to be doing it again on Saturday, April 27th in Fontana, at Fontana Park, where we'll be participating there and presenting the athletes with medals there. We're also scheduling a Tippecott fundraiser for the Special Olympics. The date and location is still, we've done that in the past at Red Robin, so they're looking to solidify that. And then the annual torch run. So that is scheduled for Monday, June 3rd. We're trying to work with the Special Olympics to change their route. We want to get it to see if we can't run up Central Avenue. And so I think it'd be kind of cool to be able to do that. So, and that's scheduled on June 3rd. And then the championship games are in Long Beach on June 8th and June 9th.
The torch run, is that morning, afternoon, if someone wants to?
It's right in the middle of the day, about noon.
About noon?
So it's right now, we pick up the torch from the Chino Hills Sheriff's Department, and typically we drop it off with Montclair, but they've had a hard time participating in that in the past. So if they're not, we want to hand it off to Ontario, but we're seeing if we can't try to get the route to go up Central Avenue, but it depends on, because it's all timed on where it ends up for the day.
Well, let's make a special note on the council meeting prior to that so the public knows in case they want to watch.
Definitely, we will do.
Karen?
That concludes my report.
Chief, do you know how much you raised in the last Tippecott fundraiser for the neighborhood house? Did you get a ballpark figure? Any chance?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
I think we did. I just don't, and I know they said it, but I'm not positive
Sorry to
about
put
the
you on the
dollar
spot
amount. That's
there.
okay.
Yeah, it's always
It was
nice.
quite a bit of money. The line was out the door. People had to wait. I mean, if you weren't there early, almost 45 minutes. I know a lot of you were there, went to dinner there. It was a great, very successful event, fundraiser it was several $1,000s. I know that they raised that.
Great. Good news. Thanks, Chief.
Yep.
It was fun, but I did get a kick out of people that came that they weren't aware of what it was. And they were kind of deer in the headlight when they see these officers with guns and everything in the restaurants, like, why are you taking my order? That was fun. Good job.
All right.
It was nice.
Thank you.
Chief Williams.
So I have no official report, but as Council Member Flores, as you get older, you recognize your limitations, and sometimes your decisions create vacancies. So I will work very hard in recognition of that to see if I can get someone from the Chino Valley Fire District to assist with that, but it won't be me.
Chicken. All right, if there's no other business to come toward us, our next meeting will be a workshop held on Tuesday, April 9th at 6 o'clock in these council chambers. Our next regular meeting will be held on Tuesday, April 16th at 6, with closed sessions starting earlier than 4 if necessary. With that, we are adjourned.